I do believe we are live, so I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again. I don't know if the lighting is any good, but it is raining out there, and I feel a sense of calm and being in the room. This is my safe space. It's nice having you here with me, sharing so much love with you friends. I see Shannon, Jovan here already, Sam, and Zano. Brother Duck Dad as well. It's so nice having all of you friends. I didn't bring my cup, so I'm gonna drink from the bottle like a savage today. Already blessed my water, but bless, 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 bless. That painting mural is beautiful, right? It's something that never ceases to make me happy. Maybe this is the perspective we need. Melt sits next to Jupiter. Since Mercury is apparently out of retrograde, we can bring some Jupiter energy into the space. Apparently, Jupiter is supposed to occupy the energies of abundance, wealth. So that's the way I see it. All of this turbulent flow. And you see all of the creatures living in those spirals. There's one here for me. Eye, nose, weird looking mouth. Then there's this one. Eye. It's so freaking weird. Eye, mouth. Then there's. I'm trying to show you my favorites. There is this one as well. Eye, nose, some weird looking lips. My grandma doesn't like it at all. She feels like there's some monsters living in that painting. So many storms, yes. The entire planet is a storm. Chaos everywhere, always. Winds so fast it would rip the flesh right off your bones. And then, yet here it is, somewhere in Africa in a room. A depiction thereof. Looks kind of close. I think the scale of it really messes with the camera as well. Just to show you a human body next to it. Oh, it's one of my prized possessions. I really don't like the idea of owning things, really, but this is one of those things that I am really proud of owning. Think about it a lot. I think about it from a retrospective perspective, looking back years from now to what this thing still means to me. I've shared the story before. Hey, Joy Vive is here too. Natalie, sending your lovin's. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone. Currently wearing a blue tie-dye shirt that looks like the middle spot, of course. I feel like the scarf and the shirt, in a weird way, matches the colors as well. I did not plan this. When I went out for yoga, it wasn't raining. And then when it started, being time for my stream, it did start raining again. So I feel like it's working out perfectly. I'm currently wearing 3 opposing patterns that would not look out of place on our dear Melty. I feel they only look out of place to people that want them to be one way. Right? It's a matter of taste. I was watching, what's it called, the Dungeons and Dragons movie yesterday, and the con man wearing these gold outfits. A part of me sees some sort of value, I guess the word would be, in dressing in that way, right? Wearing gold and gold-based clothing. But I honestly do believe that there is more value in being colorful than just shiny. I feel a little bit inward. I had an interesting rest of my day yesterday. Finished at around 7 p.m. with the Sangha we had. And yeah, I don't think 7 p.m. is that late necessarily, but the family had already eaten dinner. And while I was meditating during the Sangha and stuff, and before I started my Sangha, I spoke to Vessel about the fact that I have another hour of work to do before I can eat anything. And he continues barbecuing the meat. I'm like, okay. And then I go inside after finishing, and everybody had finished their dinner. And my mom tells me, you can heat yourself up something. And I go like, and I walk past her and I put my things away after stream. And then when I come back to fetch more things, she tells me again, you can heat yourself up some dinner. And I'm like, thank you. I'll do that when I'm done, I need to eat. And then she's like, oh, but we're waiting for you. And I say, no, no, you're not. You've already finished eating. You're not waiting for me, clearly. And then it spirals into this defensive thing. Vessel claims, I didn't say anything. Me asking, like, we were talking about the fact that he cooked the meal before I was there, before I could join them. And that if he only waited 20 to 30 minutes longer, we could have eaten together. And I asked him, dude, don't you think for yourself? Do I have to tell you what you're supposed to do? Right? It's my birthday. He didn't remember, obviously. He was at his girlfriend's place. He had to be told that it's my birthday. And then his equivalent of happy birthday melt was, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. And I was like, cool, cool. Cooks the food. I ask him, can't you think for yourself in, trying to include me in the meal? He tells me, fuck you, Estian, and then leaves. And I'm like, oh, okay. I felt pretty proud of myself for not losing my temper in that moment. I just feel I was too defeated to lose my temper. Right? Like it went from sadness to anger, back to sadness. Sadness to anger, back to sorrow, really. And my dad wanted to sit with me and eat. And I tell him, you know what? I'd rather just eat alone. Thank you. I don't want to be looked at. That's the biggest thing for me. I don't want to be watched by the whole table as I eat my meal. And he's persistent. He helps me heat my food up instead of expecting me to do it myself. Well, still had to do it mostly myself, but at least he stood with me. And he took it, onto himself to actually apologize properly. The family kept making excuses. My mom's excuse was, oh, you do intermittent fasting, so you don't eat late at night. That's why we ate without you. Even though they know I haven't eaten anything yesterday, waiting for the family dinner, for my birthday dinner or whatever. Grandma is like, oh, but the power is going to go off soon. It only went off 2 hours after I finished my stream. Vessel, didn't want to take any responsibility either. It was my fault for not telling him how he's supposed to do it. And we can, bet $10 on it that if I told him what he's supposed to do, that would have been an issue as well. And then Dad stepped in, listening to all of these excuses being made, and he apologized for me, for them. And it was like, actually, we were wrong. We were inconsiderate. We did not want to do the effort of waiting 30 minutes for Melt so he can eat with us. That's not cool. I'm sorry, Dad says. And that's really all I needed to hear, you know, that if we're going to talk about the magic of words, we can make things worse. We can make things worse, or we can make things better using these powerful tools. And even though the whole circumstance, getting told "fuck you" on your birthday by your little brother, getting left behind, right, feeling like an outsider, having to eat the cold food, the leftovers. It doesn't feel great, but Dad actually, owning up, apologizing, made me feel closer to him than I would have if he had waited for me and we had dinner together. So even though I do feel a certain way, I still do. I feel more than anything like my dad and my relationship is growing, becoming more healthy slowly but surely. Takes time, takes a lot of words, it takes a lot of the right words in order to get there. And our egos get in the way. My ego is getting in the way. This expectation we have for people to be one way, right? And it is an expectation, right? I did expect my family to wait for me. I told them. My dad came outside during the Shanghai. He was like, "How much time do you have left?" I'm like, 30 minutes. I have 30 minutes left. And yeah. Let me read some comments. I love you, friends. I love you, friends, so much. I do feel tired. I slept a lot today. I almost missed yoga because I kept sleeping. Just kept adding 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes. Sometimes there's a sense of ease in that space, right? Maxine, seeing your name, sending you love. Sano's here too. The complementary blue and yellow are vibing together, swirling into one another. Let me continue reading. Similar chaos at the storm is the painting. You too, Natalie. Perfect. Love to you, Joy Vive. How's being sent? I'm trying to own less, but one thing I am going to own is that yoga book Zano illustrated. Yeah. I think I might have missed it or haven't seen it yet, but thank you, Doug Dad, for echoing that sentiment. The point I was trying to make before is expectations. And the crazy part is with Dry Historian yesterday in chat, that was the wisdom that came up as well. Communicating that it is going to feel sometimes, no matter how much you choose to love other people, like they won't love you in the same capacity, with the same amount of forethought, with the same amount of consideration that you do. And when you expect people to, that's the best way to guarantee your suffering. It's like, yeah, you'll be sure to suffer if you expect people to act one way. It's a joke of loyalty, you know. It's a little bit of a joke of loyalty because loyalty is people being controlled for the positive side of the world, right? At least from the biased positive side of a person's world, to act in a way without you having to tell them how they're supposed to act, right? It's the joke of someone buying you flowers is a nice gesture in and of itself, right? But it loses its luster if you had to tell a person to buy you flowers in order to get flowers, right? Like there should be a level of autonomy in what we choose to do, in the love we choose to share. And when someone doesn't act from that autonomy towards you, it can feel cold. It can feel like there's a lack of care. It's a way of communicating, right? To keep the topic relevant. It's a way of communicating to one another. And it says more than words. It says more than words in that way. Funny. I recently gave my cousin one of my late grandmother's prized pictures of illustration. Not many knew because she hid it in her room. It's pictures of inspiration. Sorry. Why would she hide it, Natalie? I finally have sun today. 5 days of clouds. Plants and dog need this. Yes, please. Guess I took some of your clouds on this side right now, Doug Dad. It's not supposed to rain right now. Climate change is real. It's it's raining in what's supposed to be the middle of winter, and usually the whole of May is dry. We don't have a single bout of rain. Like to give a statistical perspective, 95% of all of the Mays I've experienced in this area of South Africa has been dry. And this year, it's rained maybe like 4 times just in the last 15 days. It's kind of surreal. I love y'all, and y'all make me super mega hap. I had a big sad and probably gonna lurk, but I'm here with yous and loving you all really big. I'm here in the big sad with you, Jovan. You're not alone. To be feeling the big sad and to still be loving. What a challenge. What a challenge. What a lesson to learn from this world, right? That one of the definitions of love is the ability to endure. How much can we endure? How much can we feel, especially in the vector of pain, and still choose to share love? Shell is here too, sending you lovin's. I got you on the lurky. Gonna make some pancakes for the kiddos. Thank you for taking care of them. Please do. I hope one day it will get published. I have no control, but you will be the first to know, my friend. Are you trying to get it published by a studio, Zano? I do believe self-publishing is very much a thing these days. I'm already tripping out through Amazon. You don't want to give Bezos any of your money, but it's a way to get your book out if you need to quickly. Hey, Maulao. It's nice having you here, Hoopy. Sending you good vibes, dude. Doop, 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 doop. Y'all are so nice. I think everyone know that they're gonna be lurky today. It is feeling like a little bit more Monday vibes. I'm very much feeling Monday vibes right now. I just can't fathom not having dinner together on a household members rotation around the sun. Me too, Natalie. I guess it's a level of living into the assumed reality. You know, I assume, to say it in so many ways, that my birthday isn't important, right? I assume that it's not something to be celebrated. I assume that I'm not worthy of care. And then, surprise, surprise, my family act that way, and I guess I should stop doing that. Stop assuming. It is very much easier said than done. I just had to open a window. I don't know if the light's better, but it might be. It's a matter of we feel like we create some space in ourselves. Hey Ezra, it's nice having you. We create some space in ourselves in assuming the worst, to not feel as bad. Where if I was assuming that my family would in fact wait for me, and then they didn't, I'd be double hurt. But because I could feel it. I could feel it during our sangha. Some of your friends might have noticed I took a dip around the middle of the sangha. I did try to bring it back at least. But I knew, listening to my brother cling and clang on the barbecue while I was meditating, having my dad come outside to eat, like ask me, and he told me, we're gonna now eat. We're gonna eat something now. And I was like, oh, okay. Guess that's the way it's gonna be, right? So there was a part of me that assumed that that's the way it's gonna be, but it doesn't make it suck any less, when you're faced with it. But at least I was right. Pet self, I'm back. Yeah, I thought my family was gonna be inconsiderate, and I was right. Good for me. Basil is a guy that is trying to carve his own way outside the house. He looks at you as the antithesis of his motivated, normal way to grow of age. He's young and impulsive and aggressive. Yeah. And he gets to do things that I don't, He took the car this whole weekend to go and visit his girlfriend. There's not even an option for me to get to borrow one of the cars if I wanted to go somewhere. And he left for the weekend, my birthday weekend. He got back at, Sunday 4 p.m. something. No, after Sunday 5 p.m. or something. During the stream, 4 p.m. ish, 5 p.m. ish. Doesn't even know it's my birthday. Doesn't care. It's just I don't understand, I don't understand how we grow up in the same household, how you treat a brother like that. Makes me want to numb myself. Not kill myself, numb myself. Smoke weed or eat food or something. Gosh, Mel, what the fuck? I'm sorry you had to experience that. It's fine, Zana. Guess I'm supposed to. Again, all of these experiences, did lead to me feeling a little bit more connected with Dad. So I'm not, even though I still am hurt, right? What the situation communicates is very clear. We don't care. It's like a loud. We do not care. We are hungry now. It's 6 p.m. So we're gonna eat now. We don't care. And I'm like, okay. I assume so. I assumed you don't care, but I guess this makes it clear. Your family acting like they don't. No, your schedule is concerning, Mel. And that's the first thing I said as well, Sam. That really was the first thing I said, where they were like, oh, we didn't know. I'm like, Mama, I have been doing this every Sunday for the last 52 weeks. 52 weeks I've been doing this day after day. Shout out Kato, Kristen, on a different setting. Love that artwork. Hope it was a wonderful birthday. Interesting. Adventures. Full. Interesting birthday indeed. Thank you. Thank you so much for the love and friend. It's just a lack of care. That's the way I see it. So, and it's okay. I guess it is okay. It's an expectation for me from them to care. And clearly that expectation is too much. I should stop expecting that. Hopefully your brother will find a path to an apology. That will definitely not happen, Zano. Unfortunately, I do know my family, but that's not gonna happen. I did put my hand on his shoulder after the whole situation and gave him a tap, trying to communicate to him that it's okay, you can tell me fuck me, and I'll still love you. I'll still love you, dude. Took my sister over 20 years to reach the self-reflection to apologize for her past misdeeds towards me. I let go of it a long time ago, but I bet it made her feel better to let it go. It is for them a thing, right? Because the thing that I've been experiencing is it's almost like a getting stuck, right? Like you have said something, be it through your actions, be it through actual words, be it through the way you show up. And then because you've said something so much, your ego is attached to saying things like that, right? And then now going against those things that you've said, apologizing, it's an attack on your ego. Your ego feels small in that state, right? And it doesn't want to do that. And it's like we dig ourselves into a hole deeper and deeper and deeper, giving ourselves more notes of evidence as to why we're not a good person, why we aren't trustworthy, why we cannot be relied on. It's a problem. Consistency, loyalty, consideration are things very important to me, because that's what I believe I try to do for others. From a biblical perspective, do unto others that which you would like to be done unto you. I respect, the wisdom that is encapsulated within that book. And that's one of the things that I do believe. right? How can we expect anything to change if there is no showing up from our perspective, our side as well? It warms my heart so much that your dad stepped up the way that he did and sincerely apologized to you, Melt. But my heart hurts for you. Super big, huge, giant hug coming your way. Thank you, Shan. Thank you so much. I did try to have one of my works of art made. Grandma asked for one. There's a there is a place that prints things in town. I don't know what quality their printers are or how much they'll ask, but apparently my mom is still waiting for confirmation or information. I thought I would be able to show you friends today. Grandma wants a big print of one of my works of art. Well, your birthday experience is so much like so many moms' Mother's Day. Yep. Like maybe that's what I had to feel as well. The lack of consideration that a lot of moms in the world must feel. How it's Mother's Day, and if there's going to be, a dinner made or a picnic or an outing, that's going to be one of the things that the mother has to kind of like step up to do, right? Lest she be left out. Thank you for reminding me in that way as well, Natalie. Zana saying, apologies are a stepping stone to healing, but there's nothing worse than constant apologies with no action. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I really don't know. I guess this is again, the way that I'm supposed to learn my lessons. To be shown on a perspective, of the world, and then still to come to the conclusion of love is true. Right? It can be very hard sometimes, but I wouldn't be hurt if I didn't love my family, if I didn't want that moment with them. So, again, right? Love is true, technically. Technically, love is true. Otherwise, I would be indifferent. I wouldn't care. It wouldn't be something that bothers me. So, there's still value, there's still goodness. Good morning, loves. I'm on 2 times catching up. I made cream of wheat for breakfast for the fam. Baby food. Sounds good. Shell, thank you for taking care of the loved ones. I have no idea why it was hidden. Maybe it seemed hidden because none of our kids were allowed in her room. Yeah, there is a thing about that, Natalie. I was having a conversation with Christian on Saturday night about compartmentalization. How Christian tends to trip himself out about what he's supposed to be doing. How we have this ability to earn money, and earning money requires us to do certain things, and then doing those certain things, we can earn more money, and it can go onto our CVs, and we become more valuable as an employee. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I agree. You can do that. It can be valuable to your life, even to do that. But you don't have to be that, right? There can be a time and a place, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours of your day where that is what you need to be, the individual that now earns money, right? And then when you're outside of that space, you should allow yourself to not be back in that space, right? It's okay to relax. It's okay to blow off some steam. It's okay to eat mushrooms and talk to a friend. That's what he was tripping out about, where he like really worries himself, where he's like, what am I doing? I'm a programmer who's taking mushrooms with a dude in Africa on his farm, like I'm like, why do you care? Oh, what does it matter to you? Why what you're doing in this moment? And then he's like, oh, because I'm not earning money right now. I'm not focusing on my career, he says to me. And it's the same thing with rooms, right? Where we get so obsessed with this compartment, this way of being. And this is my room, right? I brought you friends into my room today. And it's not something I do a lot. Not because I don't want you in my room, just because I like having you friends outside. You friends like being outside. Thinking about Kristen. Kristen, you told me yesterday you tune into these streams to see the nature, and here I am. Yeah, not nature, nature. At least this is a beautiful background, right? At least this is visually stimulating. It's probably causing like your neurons to have some turbulent flow in it as well. So there is still value. But the way we compartmentalize, for instance, in the same way, the way I believe that these streams are supposed to be outside, that can be in a compartment in my own mind that I can lock myself in, right? Where now I cause myself suffering for streaming inside because how it's supposed to be is outside. How I'm supposed to be acting. This room is supposed to be mine. There isn't supposed to be children in it. It's so contrived. Our little boxes that we built for ourselves. Cream of wheat is my favorite thing in the winter, Shell. I haven't had too much cream of wheat myself. It does sound nice though. Maybe I have. I think we call it just oats. Is it just oats? Like, I don't think cream of wheat is oats. It's probably oats is oats. But what I'm thinking when I hear cream of wheat, I'm imagining what we call oats. I sold those paintings to an author, really as a favor, because she had nobody but wanted visuals for her yoga play. That's as far as I really wanted to go with it. I'm not much of a book illustrator. You could be, Zano. Maybe that's what we're trying to say. We're just trying to encourage you and celebrate you for the stuff that you do. Shell saying, I'm at the apology now. Melt, I listened to your message. Thank you for that. I was 25 in 1993 playing MK Marionette on that. So much love. I'm 40 something. My sister is almost 50. I'm going to be 40 one day. I look forward to 44-year-old me. I hope he's strong. I hope he's capable. I hope he's done good things. I'm sure he would. I'm sure he's going to do good things. Love you, future self. I'll see you soon. Wait, you seriously can't borrow a car, but he can. Yeah. Like it's partial to the fact that I have a license, but my license got lost with my wallet, so I don't have the little card right now. And because I don't have the little card right now, I'm not allowed to use the car. Right? And I guess there would be a willingness to let me use the car, but not in the same way that he gets to. Right? If I wanted to go to Pretoria for the weekend with one of my dad's cars, well, my dad's car, other one's my mom's, he would be like, nah, I don't think so, dude. I'm gonna use my bucky for this or that. I don't understand the compartments maybe that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to understand what little boxes they draw around me as a person that allows them to do certain things to me, right? Spit into the box as a visual. Melty, is there no other place you can go? I don't need to go anywhere, Maxine. I don't need to go anywhere. It's a matter of finances as well. I'm earning about between 400 and, if I'm lucky, 500 bucks a month right now. A little bit less. That's not enough to go somewhere, right? And I'm still working towards being able to earn more, and I'm actively thinking about different ways to. But right now, I'm okay with where I am. Like, I'm not sharing these things from a perspective of trying to solve a problem, oh, what am I supposed to do? Should I run away? It's not who I am, because I am going to leave. That is an inevitability. That is gonna happen eventually, right? And I do value the time I get to spend with my family, because all of the time, like 90% of the time I'll get to spend with my family in my whole life is happening right now. Right? All of the time. Most of the time. 95 technically in my mind percent of the time I'll ever get to spend with them, I get to spend now, right? As a child growing up in their house during this time, spending time with them. Hey, Jules, sending you lovin's. It's nice having you. Gobbledygoo is here too, melting into this moment. And then I'll leave. And then I'll leave, right? And then I'll be in the world and I'll be able to take you friends with me. And we're going to be adventuring in the van I want to build myself. That's what I'm working towards, Maxine. And that's going to cost me a lot of fucking money. And saving up 500 bucks a month, it's going to take me a while before I can afford a vehicle. So, like, getting away isn't going to help me. It's only going to set me back even further. My brother is the golden child. He got away with everything. I feel you, brother. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. He's not even the golden child. That's the best part. Zano, I'm just the not golden child. I was staring at my crayon drawing and yours for an hour, trying to convince myself they aren't the same scene. The frogs are in the same spot, of course. Works of art that are aligning. Kristen here. Ooh, different setting. I love the artwork again. Thank you for the love, dear friend. My younger brother, who looks like the carbon copy of our dad, is the golden child. I'm the black sheep because I spoke out about being abused and not putting up with it. And there's like a multiple different ways of abuse, right? In fact, I believe probably most of the abuse happening in our world is happening verbally, right? Talking about the magic of the voice, the magic of talking, that this whole experience has been generated through this medium that we call talking, right? And I'm communicating things that can be painful, pain that I'm experiencing, and then that pain you friends experience through me communicating can cause the masculine side of us to try and problem solve, to try and do something to ensure that pain ceases to exist, right? Fortunately, I'm not in pain always. I'm not in pain always. I'm in pain sometimes, but there are a lot more moments where I get to not be in pain. And I try to, through my life, lean into that side of my reality instead of the, I'm in pain right now and I'm feeling it, but I'm not leaning into it as in, like, yes, this is who I am. I am someone who is in pain. I am a sufferer. I am so inconvenienced. I am so inconsiderate. At least not always. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I get really deep into it. And then I realize, wait a second, this sucks. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop doing this. Let me continue reading. Kristen, I feel so much happier seeing your name here now after spending a little time with you in the Sangha yesterday. Thank you for sharing the beautiful you with us. Same, right? Like, I could feel Kristen's loving energy. Like, when I was talking about this experience of feeling like we take up too much space and seeing her, in agreement in the deep feeling of that, I could just see the soul, feel the soul. We love you. Melt had a may you live in interesting times birthday. Of course. I do appreciate the fullness. I did remedy. I've only taken two uh, separate times, so I still have two more left, and I didn't add them to my water today, but I have remedied. It was nice to spend time with you. I love you all so much, and other Melty people, as we love you so much. Right, Kristen, thank you for spending some time with us. Sharakato. It's a cool name. Kristen, we're also called Kristen's friend or my friend when you're the speaker, sneaking back in to throw the idea out there to bring Mel to Canada. That will happen too. Surely, Natalie. Shell, Frog Synchronicities. Last year, says Shell, on Mother's Day, my son and Hubs forgot the day until afternoon. Their apologies was effective, but their performance this year nailed it for me. They really pampered me. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that, in fact, Shell. Just like knowing that there is at least one person in the world, right, who on that day, on their special day, experienced love, being pampered, being taken care of, sneaking back in. They're gonna ship Mel to Canada. Mel goes west. That's great, Shell. Yes, bring him here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to face the same issues when it comes to passports, visas. They like our country is considered third world. They don't want our people, and I don't have professional skills. I don't have a university degree. I don't have a high-paying job. I don't have any assets, right? I don't have a car. I don't have property. So there's nothing. I don't have a business established, at least. So there's nothing keeping me in my country, which makes me a flight risk to pretty much any other country that could approve my visa for me. We are fairly friendly to South Africans for stay here. Lamau, children love you, Estian. Thank you. You making pancakes. I'll see your safe place. I like seeing your safe place. Thank you. This space is. Think about it, right? Like I've spent a lot of time in here, like years, literally years. I've spent years in this space, hours. Like I sleep 8 hours a night here, right? It accumulates. For these years, I've had these. Let me show you. My bathroom. But look at those. I have these little butterfly spirits protecting me in the room. There we go. I don't know if that scene is bigger. I think it might be punched in a little bit. It's fine. If you're here for just a moment, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I know I've communicated a lot. Anyways, so somber, but I love you, and things are okay. We're gonna be okay. These things, all of us, go through them collectively, and we're not less for it. We're not unloved. We'll get better. Joe Schmo, sorry, brother Bear, seeing your name now. Just so nice to have you here. Sending you so much love. Come live with me. I'll pay the rent. Gobbledygoo. I tried though. I tried going to America. They denied me. I need more money. That's the only thing that they're gonna allow me for. It's like, oh, do you have a lot of monies? Are you gonna spend your monies in Americas? Yeah, probably. Yeah, okay, come. But until that is the reality. I don't think they'll let me in. I've said this once before, but buy lumber and build a hut shack on the perimeter, live off the land, hunt, save up for the van, and then when you're ready to move on, torch the shack as to symbolize change. I really like that idea, Zano. I really like that idea. I do want to build, right? Like there is like a space far out in that direction where I would like to establish a community for our friends. But again, I'm gonna need a lot of resources, and I'm gonna get there. Like for me, I think in 10, 20, 50-year time frames, right? And 10, 20, 50-year time frames, everything will flow. Everything will go where it's supposed to. I just need to be patient. I'll say $500 a month. If you gave me $499 a month, that's what I do. That's really what I do. I try to buy myself pieces of technology. I bought the microphones. Uh, I've bought lights. I've bought computer parts. I've bought pieces of wood that I burn, Palo Santo sticks. I've bought mobile data so I can do these streams. But the rest of it I save, contributing to this goal I have to get myself an electric van. Did you remedy? I did. So you have time for consultation this week. Please do reach out. There we go. Thank you, Shell, so much. I would love that. Not for me, but for you, towards Shan, of course. I believe I do. Perfect. The internet told me that SA was the only country in Africa that was not third world. It isn't, technically. When it comes to our development, when it comes to our technology, South Africa is there. It's doing pretty well, in fact. But when it comes to the way the rest of the world sees us, Europe, for instance, Gary Lee, oh, thank you, dude. Closer. Huh? Just think about that. I am now $5.55 closer to being in a van and taking you friends through South Africa. going through the 26 different climate zones or ecological niches we have in South Africa. We're going to see all of it. See nature that I haven't even seen. See South Africa. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much, dude, for manifesting more abundance into this world. It means more than I can say. Love you so much. Joe Schmo saying, Melty, cherish the time you're spending with your family today because tomorrow could be a vastly different environment. I agree, Joe Schmo. That is where I'm coming from. And like with my family coming back, I asked mom how was her day. I asked grandma how her day was. I shared love with her. I'm not trying to be angry or be cold or be cynical about the way they've acted towards me. I'm still being myself. I'm still doing what is expected of me. But when it comes to this space, I feel we love one another enough that I can communicate how I feel without it being an attack, right? Because that's usually how it's seen. I see Johan is here with us as well. It's not so nice having you, Red the Bear, sending you so much love. I'm off Thursday, flexible schedule. Isn't it really, Joy? But it's slowly going there. But I have hope. Hope you're doing well today. Sending you so much love, Johan. It's a blessing having you here, bro. That was a lot of energy that I think I wanted to know about and help you process with friends. Yeah. What I'm trying to do right now is like, for me, and that's the way I see these streams is mirroring, right? Consciously evolving. These are conscious evolutions. And then in communicating the discomfort I feel and being and feeling, I think, rather, not considered by the ones I love the most, you friends can relate. You friends can pull fractals from your own experience that is similar, not the exact same, but similar, where you notice how these things show up in your life. And then by opening ourselves up to feel these things, we can do some inner work, about how it is we react, how it is we are going to continue reacting going forward, noticing these things, and then in noticing these things, self-adjusting, being like, yeah, not being considerate. Not being considered sucks ass. I'm gonna consider people so that they don't have to suck ass. And it's this process. It's not gonna happen instantaneously. It takes our whole lifetimes to get good at loving people. And we're practicing every day. And I'm proud of you, friends, for that. Thank you again, Gary Lee. Melty, you could joking that Peace Corps join the Peace Corps or something like that. Doing that will grant you a passport and possibly an international visa that would allow you to travel to the Americas. That doesn't sound like a bad idea, Joe Schmo. Hey, Google, what does joining the Peace Corps entail? I don't understand what you're saying. Get wrecked, Gula Gula. I'm gonna go and use GPT now, dude. Let's see what it says. I'm gonna have to log in again. No, nice. That's cool. What does joining the Peace Corps entail? The voice recognition is so ass. What does joining the Peace Corps entail? Maybe I just suck at speaking. Joining the Peace Corps is a significant commitment to serving others and promoting cross-cultural understanding. The Peace Corps is a voluntary program run by the United States government that sends Americans to live and work in communities around the world for 2 years. The following are basic steps involved in joining the Peace Corps. First, you apply, then there's an interview, then there's medical and legal clearances, then there's training, then there's service, then there is the close of the service, basically finishing up. Can people outside of America join the Peace Corps? No, Only US citizens and legal permanent residents, green card holders, are eligible to join the Peace Corps. Thank you, Joe Schmo, for offering suggestions, but I'm not surprised. Like, we talk about glass ceilings in this world a lot. Just being African is a massive glass ceiling. Like, you're just not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to leave. My dad would encourage you to live your van life like he did in his 20s. And I want to do that, Natalie, because I feel that's going to be the best way for me to show you, friends, how beautiful this country can be. You know, if I'm going to have to stay in this country for the next decade, not being allowed to leave, I might as well see it, all right? I might as well be in the country, might as well show you, friends, because that's the cool thing about this space, that it's not about just me anymore. You know, now the places I get to see gets to be experienced by the collective humanity, all of us together. And there's a sense of freedom in that. Just a thought, you need a college degree for the Peace Corps, unfortunately. There's another one. Yeah. Does Melt have Venmo? I don't. I have PayPal, though. Plug the PayPal. Bilingual and culturally aware. The Peace Corps wants you, dude. No, unfortunately not. Thank you, though, Joshmo. So much love. I do want to share with Jovan. Jovan yesterday told me about this movie called The Bicentennial Man? Bicentennial Man? I think that's the name. It's a Robin Williams movie from 1999. I was a single year old. I was not even born when that movie started being made. That's the way I think of it. Like, I didn't exist in this realm when that movie was being made. And then it came out when I was a year old. And I never got to see it, obviously, because it's old, right? And then I shared yesterday the blessings, the peace, the love I want to send to Robin Williams, having passed away. And I shared it from the perspective of having watched the movie Robots. Mia and Christian talked about Robin Williams a bunch that weekend. And then we went and sat down to watch Robots. And one of the characters' voices was Robin Williams. And we were like, can you believe this? And then I shared my love. And then Jovan shared her love for the same character, but a different movie that he played in. You, friends, mentioned to me how amazing you think that movie was. And then I decided to watch it yesterday, and it melted my brain. Like, it properly messed me up just a little bit. Watching how they're like, the characters in the movie is tripping out about what this AI robot, you know, is capable of. And they're like, oh, can you believe this robot did this thing? And then at the same time, I get to live in the year 2023, 24 years after that movie was released, and everything that was happening, at least at the start, the impressive things that robot was doing can be done, is being done by our AI computers right now. I feel the movie's ending did make me feel very somber, you know, like a deep longing, a part sadness. I cried. I did cry, but not a sad crying, more I don't even know. A very like longing, you know, familiarity, almost like feeling seen, dying as a human being, being born into immortality. Trippy, even. Fortunately, I do believe we're gonna die eventually, even if we figure out. And the joke as well in watching that movie is they were trying to paint a picture of what the future is gonna look like, and I feel they depicted a future well, but at the same time, I feel they didn't take into consideration everything, not nearly enough. Because since that movie got released, hey Google, when was CRISPR discovered? Crispy discovered. CRISPR. Hey Google, when was CRISPR discovered? There we go. So officially in 1987, and I think in 2006 or something, we figured out how to use it properly, right? So like technology that they were jokingly talking about only coming like 150 years from now, we have today, right? It's kind of surreal. That movie is still melting my brain. Thank you, Melt, for sharing. Thank you, Ezra. Hearing your experience does help with understanding and growth in my own life. There we go. Thank you for echoing that sentiment, Ezra. I seriously considered joining the Peace Corps when I was 19. Would have been an experience. Gotta head to work. Love you, Tristan. Have a good day, dear friend. We'll see you again soon. I have to wander in and out now, but I think we're starting something hopeful for our dear friend. You always do. You friends give me hope, period. You showing up in this moment, you being here, even in not saying anything, just being here, hearing these words, gives me hope, right? Like I think of it like depth again, that there is magic in words. There's magic in you choosing to say something, but that will always be an approximation. The infinity that you are cannot be communicated. The depth of this experience you're having cannot be communicated, but it does contribute to the whole. It communicates to the rest of the world. Watch Tomorrowland tonight. I will, Joy Vive. Just because you told me to, I'll freaking watch Tomorrowland. Watching Tomorrowland in the future, scheduling, time is set. I need to journal first, but I'll do it. There we go. No one speaks Afrikaans outside of the US, so not the most useful language, Joe. It's true. There's only 11 million people, apparently, in the whole world that speaks Afrikaans. 11 million. That's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. That's a fair point. Joy Vive, we have a large population of South African doctors here, so technically you could help with shorthand translation of notes. I could. This is true. Not necessarily Peace Corps. You could look into Greenpeace, or maybe the Red Cross, or perhaps another international-based program that allows you to help and travel. I feel, fortunately, Joe Schmo, with this journey that we're on, it's inevitable, right? That there is going to be some company, some entity that reaches out and would like to support what it is we're doing here. By Sentinel Man makes me cry my eyes out. Good. Feel all of it. Natalie, if anyone's going to get Mel to Canada, it's you. She's been persistent in planting little seeds in my head. So I believe that too. You're only trapped by your own imagination. I adore Robin. Me too. So much love. It's so sad. Outthink and outstepped the authority. Yeah, governments. I feel it's gonna be a matter of us as human beings collectively realizing that there is unity, that there is oneness in humanity, right? That we are the same entity experiencing differently. My perspective, your perspective, compartmentalizing into infinity. Yet we're the same thing. And once we kind of like realize that, once we come to that conclusion, I feel the borders are gonna melt away, you know. There will be no borders. There will be no separation between self and other. There'll just be a willingness to show up for love, right? Make sure that love is true as a statement, as a direction, as a model about how we're supposed to build going into the future. I could make a business case for his time in Canada, a student option and a tourist option. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. I believe that is a doable thing. It is. It definitely is, Joshma. Watching the movie like they could build robo organs, couldn't fix their robos. Whizzing, blinking noises. I feel the whizzing, blinking noises was probably intentional. I was like thinking about the exact same thing, Jovan. It makes me so happy that we shared that fractal because when I watch a movie that you friends have watched, I watch it from the perspective of knowing that you watched this thing, felt significance in watching it, and then me exposing myself to that thing, I get to share that fractal with you. And the fact that there are fractals on top of the fractals me and Jovan share with one another, like he got, you know, turned into what looks like flesh, but his eyes would still make like shwing, shwing, like little robot whizzing noises. They both hit the nail on the head and dropped the ball. A great movie. I feel so. That was like my conclusion that I had to come to because I also thought about it. I'm like, I think they would probably be able to figure that out as well. But it was probably to keep the robot, right? Like they knew as they were like showing you frame by frame, as they were giving him more emotions, as they were giving him skin eventually, giving him organs, they wanted to keep you aware of the fact that he was a robot. And then by the end of it, I feel by the end of it, he wasn't making sounds anymore, right? Like when he was an old man and he chose to die, I don't know if he was still making sounds at that point in the movie. Maybe he did, but I just deleted it. But I feel if they did make noises even to the end of the movie, that would have been improper. But I don't remember him making any noises when he passed away, for example. Like he didn't go no 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 Windows log off sound when he I was like, why am I'm trying to escape the trauma. Oh goodness, formulate your words as if they're prayers wanting to be shared. Yes, Shan, thank you for reminding me. Dearest loved ones, thanks for brothers. Thanks for brothers and now. Thank you for being here and now. Hope everyone here have a splendid day. I have to bounce, but it was fun lurking. Love you all so much. You're all amazing. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Yeah, gang gang. Would have been hilarious if they added the AOL. Yes, exactly. I'm happy that Maxine is there with me of the joking side of the nature, trying to make it a little bit more light. Have a beautiful day. Johan. Oh, it was Johan. For some reason, I thought it was Joe Schmosen in that message. Love you, Johan. Thank you, dude. Thank you for sending us good vibes, bro. Have a good one, too. Time for us to pull a card, and then we can say goodbye for the day. Let's see what sacred geometry has to say. This one. How trippy. How trippy. Where am I right now? There's some orange in there. But orange isn't the primary color. Like, what was I saying about this room of mine? You know, the sacredness of the space. Sanctuary. Look at that dove spiraling down, DNA. There's a little chameleon. Yeah, Zano got smack dab on the green. Like, there's like oranges in there. Look at that orange. Yeah. There's orange as the dove actually flies out. This is one of my favorite cards. This is usually the card I pull when I decide I'm gonna do some psychedelics because it makes me feel safe. Makes me feel like I do have sanctuary. So I did pull it upside down, technically. We don't really pull this one often. We don't. I think I've pulled it maybe 4 times in total. Yeah, you got it. You so got it. One more time. Sanctuary. I was just talking about it. Ah, there we go. Of course. Of course, Maxine. Maybe this is your message, your reminder that you are safe, that you have found sanctuary. The reverse meaning goes, you are moving so fast, you are at risk for accidents. Slow down. Refuge and renewal. This green cathedral is offered as a sacred space and refuge from the world for a time. It invokes the energy of deep connection with nature and represents a place of rest and renewal. DNA spirals connect the peace dove above with the place of heart that dwells within every one of us. The double helix of our DNA spins a remembering of our divinity and accelerates our participation in conscious evolution. Woo! You have much to do upon the earth. You have much to do upon the earth. Realize that however in tune you are with the evolving process, however fast you are shifting paradigms, there will be times when it is necessary for you to retreat in order to renew your vitality and to reconnect with your sacred center. Joy Vive is drying my tears right now. Thank you, Joy. Set aside time for stillness. Allow a sense of peaceful tranquility to pervade your consciousness. You may want to walk into the forest and listen to the voices of nature. Sit quietly in that energy and feel how your mind is calmed and your spirit renewed. Listen to the message that you receive in this meditative interval. Allow that simply being is at least as important as all the doing that consumes most lives. Like, I'm getting wrecked right now, especially with the compartmentalization conversation we had. Oh, if you are unable to be in nature, I'm unable to be in nature right now. This is not very natural, is it? Find a place of sanctuary in your home or your city. Use this card to symbolically assist you in evoking a sense of renewal and equanimity. Remember that the emotions of love and compassion influence the harmonics of the heart and the renewal of life force. Mindfully honor the sanctuary of quiet moments. Damn. Yeah. These cards always kick my ass. Synchronicity. Thank you, Francine. Beautiful being. One more time. Dove energy spiraling down your DNA into your heart. Little chameleon dude staring from the sidelines. The trees, the lushness, the light shining through. I thank you, dear friends, for joining me in these moments, for finding some still, some quietness. Joanne, Jaju, Beansy, Zano, Joy, Nat, Sam, Kristen, Shell, Ezra, Gary, Duck, Maulam, and Gabby Goo. Anyone I've missed here, your presence brings comfort more than you know. And knowing you're drawn to a space like this restores faith in humanity. I love you, friends. Thank you for stimulating the harmonics of my heart, dear friends, by playing the loving message. It means more than I can say. What a card, geez. Esrog can be very in our face sometimes. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Thank you for joining me, for making me feel less alone, for making me feel like love is true, for giving me someone to care about. You. I love you so much. I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow, dear friends. There we go. Shan sharing. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I sincerely and wholeheartedly love you all so very extremely super hugely dearly. Melt and all of you absolutely astonishingly amazingly friends. As we love you, dear Shan. As we love you, dear Maxine. You matter. No, you. No, you matter. No, you. Of you, Joy V. Thank you, dear friends. Even if I don't say your name directly, I love you. Me? Yes, you're touching your face, saying goodbye. I'll see you again soon. Love you.